We're talking Cooper Kupp on today's show since the Rams seem willing to trade him. Will that end up happening after the DeAndre Hopkins trade went down earlier today? Let me know in the comment section right now. Y for yes, N for no. Couple different reports out there as it relates to Cooper Kupp. The first from Ian Rapoport was that Kupp has drawn trade interest. Rams might not trade him. We'll see. Then Dianna Russini came in on Tuesday with a bit of a massive report that Rams have called teams about trading former Super Bowl MVP Cooper Kupp for her and her athletic colleagues. And the Rams are willing to take on some of his 2024 salary and are aiming to get a second-round pick. That is more than just, the Rams are getting calls. They're making calls, and they are shopping him and open to making a move. That's different than Team A called Team B and Team B said no. That's a lot more credibility there. Now, contract-wise, there's a couple notes to make here. Before the proration kicks in, that will change as the weeks go on. The new team would owe $15 million, but the Rams have already paid about $6 million of that, and that will drop by a little under $1 million each week until it gets dealt. But right now, it's about $9 million the new team owes. The Rams have about $14 million this year. And additionally, the Rams, if they're willing to eat that, drops that figure down potentially a large amount. That makes it much more doable for a contending team that's a bit tight on cap space right now to take on that contract. He does have $5 million guaranteed next year in 2025. $5 of his $20 million is guaranteed. He's then owed just $19.9 in 2026. There's not that much money that's left at this time. It's very doable for a team to hypothetically take him on and add him and make an impact there. Now, the Rams have not had a healthy Cooper Kupp as of late. They've got 147 yards of him, just 2 games played, 737 yards in 2023. But when healthy, Cooper Kupp has been awesome. The issue is he hasn't always been the healthiest type of asset for this organization. But when healthy, he's really good. So if you're a contending team trying to win now, he can absolutely help you. Just the injuries are a valid concern. So who will end up trading for Cooper Kupp? Let me know in the comment section of today's show. At the pinned comment, actually. If the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Now, if you watched our live show on Tuesday, you will notice that the actual ordering of these teams has changed. We had to adjust after the Cooper Kupp or the DeAndre Hopkins trade to the Chiefs. So the Chiefs were number 1. Now they're number 5. It's still doable if they want to. We'll see the exact details on the DeAndre Hopkins trade cost and how much the Titans are eating, whatever. The Chiefs were number 1. They're now number 5 because they did make a trade for DeAndre Hopkins, which I think actually makes a ton of sense for them. They don't have that bigger body on the outside. Xavier Worthy's a speedy vertical threat. Hopkins can be that more typical X receiver, but it can also do some Z and move around, etc. Juju Smith-Schuster's banged up. They could still use a Cooper Kupp type of slot receiver who's got more of a power slot, which I think a lot of teams could still use, by the way. But I do think the addition of Hopkins makes this less likely than what it was, 7 hours ago, whatever the timing works out from that perspective. Doable, yes. Likely, probably not so much. Now, PrizePicks is the sponsor of today's show. They are the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. You can get up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. They also invented the flex play. And I like to do the flex plays when I'm not doing one of the free squares or anything. So I'm going to get at least 2 out of 3 right. A little bit of a lower payout, but you can get still cash out if lineup isn't perfect. I like Joe Burrow more than passing yards against the Eagles. Joe Mixon against a bad Colts run defense more than yards on the ground. And Najee Harris more than yards on Monday Night Football, which will give me a chance no matter what, all the way through Sunday into Monday night. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Go download the app today at prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play that first $5 lineup. Link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. Number 4 on the list, that is the Los Angeles Chargers. I think they're a kind of sneaky option here. They don't have enough playmakers right now. Now, I think the Ladd McConkey role and Cooper Kupp role could be a little similar. That maybe causes some concerns there. My biggest issue is, are the Chargers trying to win games now? Because this is a rebuild. This is a reset, a retooling. This is not an aggressive, we got to win now or we're getting fired regime, right? This is not the true opening of their window, I don't believe. But a veteran like Cooper Kupp helps you. Quentin Johnston's banged up. They're playing guys like Jalen Reagor right now. I mean, come on. He's just not good. We know that. Joshua Palmer can do some vertical stuff. Quentin Johnston actually might end up being a power slot in the NFL anyway. But this means Kupp doesn't even have to move, which would maybe be nice for him. Plus, the Rams have history of trading their players to AFC teams. So what draft pick is Cooper Kupp worth? Rams want a second. If that's them eating money, maybe a third's more doable in the end. Well, let me know in the comments section of today's show. Number 3, the Baltimore Ravens. And this is the opposite of LA. They could get by at wide receiver, but they are in the middle of their window. And this is the type of aggressive win-now move that the Ravens can be willing to make. Now, the money's a bit tight. They can make it work, though, like every team can make work. The Ravens have a good overall offense. Lamar Jackson's playing incredible football. They have 2 good tight ends, as they likely. Mark Andrews looks back. They don't have a third receiver who's good. They have Zay Flowers. They have Rashad Bateman. Nelson Aguilar is a bad football player. He has too many drops. He's fast. That's kind of it. I actually think Cooper Kupp could thrive in this offense. It would allow you to use Zay Flowers as less gadgety and more downfield and give some of those underneath stuff routes to not Zay Flowers to Cooper Kupp, I think could benefit all the parties involved there. I actually think throwing Cooper Kupp into this offense, plus he'll run block for Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, I think would make the Ravens a really dangerous threat to the Chiefs in the AFC. Now, the NFL trade deadline is almost here. Make sure you guys are subscribed for constant updates and news like the Ernest Jones, the 4th trade that just went down. Funnily enough, the Titans traded for Ernest Jones and then got more from him by trading him away midseason. Good job, Tennessee. Not so good job for the Rams, who we're talking about right now. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. Number 2, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is my favorite sneaky fit. Now, they might go with a cheaper option, but they just lost Chris Godwin for the season. We don't know how long Mike Evans is going to be out, probably at least till after the bye week. They have cap space available, and there's a connection. Liam Cohen, their OC, was with Cooper Kupp for years in LA as the assistant wide receivers coach, as the core assistant QB coach, as the OC for a season before he went snip-snap to Kentucky and back and forth and all kinds of chaos there. Look, the Bucs need receiver help right now. Mike Evans is banged up. You can't trot out Jalen McMillan, Sterling Shepard, and Trey Palmer and expect to be a legitimate NFC South contender this year. That's not enough talent alongside Baker Mayfield. So you have to do the risk-reward of like, there's injury history. Are we good enough to make more than just a division run? But adding Cooper Kupp in the short term would be a huge boost to the Bucs. They're my favorite sleeper on this list. Now, where do you rank Cooper Kupp among NFL wide receivers? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Where do you rank Kupp? Number 1, the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're not doing the Amari Cooper, 2 Cooper jokes with 1 Kupp here today. The Pittsburgh Steelers are number 1. They get linked to every wide receiver on the market. Now, will they ever land one? I don't know. But George Pickens is your classic X. He's the outside physical receiver, jump ball machine, vertical threat at times too. Cooper Kupp is an upgrade in that more slot role. You could probably give him some Z looks when you go over 2 receivers. He'll block for you, which we know matters for Arthur Smith. He's better than Van Jefferson. He's better than Calvin Austin. He's better than Roman Wilson, who's been up. He's way better than Scotty Miller. he is I think a Pickens-Kupp duo actually works pretty well for a Steelers team that sure looks like they're a real contender in the AFC. Plus, at minimum, they're going to get to 500 because they always do that. So I don't think it's a surprise to many that with the DeAndre Hopkins trade now in the books, the Steelers check in at number 1 on this list.